Okay, we want to take a look in this video at the whole process, the bid, the quote, the order, the proposal, and so on. There's a whole lot of different ways to do things, a whole lot of very comprehensive options and lots of features and whistles and buzzers, but let's just real simply go through a very, very basic process, and you'll see along the way there's a lot more we can do, but hopefully this will give people an idea of how the basic logic flows in setting this up. So you have someone call and say, I need a price on something. Or you have a bid situation. You have a bid due next week, week after. That's an opportunity to give a price someplace. We call that a bid. Might call it a lead or a request for bid, but in the system here we call it a bid. So the first place we go is edit bids. We want to add a new bid. And we have to pick a salesperson. So we pick a salesperson. We have a date, default date fills in, project name, let's say it's a residence, let's say it's a residential request, and we pick a project type, it's residential, and that's all we really need to do to create a bid. There's a lot more information here that might be useful for actual architectural bids and things like that. We want to track our marketing sources ultimately and so on. We have bid dates, plan information, takeoff information, follow-up notes. This is what we use to follow up on our leads and so on. We have bid status and so on. But for now, let's just leave it at that, update this bid. So now we know in the system, we've recorded the fact in the system that we've got to give somebody a price. So we're going to go to update bid, and that creates the bid, gives it a number, and saves it. So I click that button, and now I've got a bid. It tells who created it, what time, and now my basic information is in there. The next thing that we want to do now is, if it's time to quote, if it's time to work up an estimate, now maybe a salesman has to get back to this or whatever, but now let's say it's time to work up an estimate. So what we want to do now is we want to go create a quote, which is actually the estimate, the workup, the price workup. So we go back to the menu, go to manage orders, and we want to create a quote. To create a quote, we can put a customer in it, but we don't have to put a customer in it. To make it a very basic, simple quote, if we haven't created the customer, we simply click the button that says create quote, and that brings us here.